Kalige did same. Why were we not able to sustain this? Because if indeed the youth of this country believe that our leaders have failed us or are failing us, it is something that ought to have been sustained. Why were we not able to do that?
The biggest regrets I have had in my adult life, and also following Ghanaian political discourse in the last 30 years, is how the Ghanaian youth fumbled, quote and unquote, the fix the country idea. And like you have just said, I was very thick in the affairs of it. It's similar to what the Kenyans did. It was a spontaneous thing that happened on Twitter. Now X moved to other parts like Facebook and other areas, then came to mainstream or traditional media. What worked for the Kenyans, right, is they were able to mobilize themselves with a tool on Twitter, which we didn't have 3 years ago. That is the spaces, Twitter spaces. Because you see, in some of these things, you need to garner support. You need to explain the issues to the masses for them to buy into it and have an idea what you would want to achieve. Traditional media might not give you that laxity, airtime to do it. But for a Twitter space, it is you creating it. And Dave, do you know that at a point in time, they had 170,000 people on one space? It's never happened before. Even just this Friday that they had the president on their Twitter space, they had those same numbers. We did not have that. Also, what worked for the Kenyans is the extreme partisanship we have in Ghana that dwindled the efforts of fix the country. They do not have that. They nipped it in the bud, early stages of it. So
has it got to do, also hold on for me 1 second, has it also got to do with the Ghanaian posture, where we believe that the Ghanaian fears blood, the Ghanaian is a fear kind of, the person rasem kind of a thing? Is that what also played into this, where we're not able to sustain it?
No, fix the country initially. And I'm not talking about fix the country when it became a legal entity, when Oliver and his people went to register it. No. I'm talking about when there were no faces, when it started spontaneous as a social media hashtag, where genuine Ghanaians, both political divide, were saying that our rules are bad. We are Ghanaian nurses at home. We've not been posted for the past 3 years. These are the challenges we are facing. People were putting it out. The partisanship started when the media allowed a section of the Ghanaian youth to start another campaign called Fix Yourself. What happened with that is it divided, and also the fickle minds and those who were not strong-willed had a lot of things that they needed to take in. So when Austin Woode and others are saying that we need to hold leaders accountable, the sanitation issue we have in Ghana, we have budgeted for it. We need to fix it so that the perennial flooding in Accra would cease. Then somebody will come and say it is because we are throwing rubbish into gutters, so it is our fault. If we stop, it will stop. So you remember on Love FM, I said that if we get leadership right, everybody will fall in line, because we have laws to punish those who throw rubbish haphazardly and wrongly. It is not Austin Woode who enforces it. It is leadership. So everything we do is leadership. If you go to advanced countries where they have developed, David, there are recalcitrants there. They are bad people like in Ghana and elsewhere. But why are they not able to get away with their crimes?
Because their laws work. Also, hold on for me. I'll come back to you shortly. PV Jantua, tell me this. I often hear people say, when we're having this conversation, PV is not on the line? All right. Also, let me give that same question to you. I often hear people, for example, say that the Ghanaian is not angry enough, or the youth in Ghana are not angry enough. Do you agree with such assertions?
I believe so, but I think that it stems from the fact that we think that the best possible way to ask for accountability is 4 years at the ballots. You see, we've gone through a process where coup d'etats have affected the Ghanaian. And for some of us in creative arts, Dave, you know, the challenge the Ghanaian music and arts faced in the mid-70s to early 80s was because of the numerous coup d'etats, which pushed a lot of our arts into Nigeria and also outside Ghana. So people don't want that, and they believe that because you see, we've done Kumiprekon, we've done CGA demonstrations, we've done Let My Vote Count demonstrations. The Ghanaian youth believe that all those things were not able to achieve good leadership and accountability. So it's just a waste of time. But at the ballots, you can change a leader who you think is not doing well. And we faced that situation in 2016, where the Dumso was what people used predominantly to vote out the then government. So people believe the Ghanaian youth are not angry enough. I accept that. But we also believe that we can change bad leadership. We can change leadership who decided not to listen to us, who took us through challenges and failed to fix them 4 years at the ballot. So we would rather wait and vote them out. But the downside of it is, Dave, I've realized recently that people are also losing faith and hope in that system. So there's a lot of Ghanaian youth out there who have decided not to vote because they also now believe that the voting to use as accountability is not even achieving its intended purposes. So there are a myriad of issues. And I believe that once these conversations keep coming up, the media keep educating the Ghanaian youth all the available accountability tools throughout a year, not just election time, not just when there is a scandal, not when there is a power crisis, not just when there is cost of living crisis, but throughout. You need to demand accountability from the media as well. The media failed just last week to do cross-checking and put out false information. You need to demand accountability from the KMA boss. You need to demand accountability from the Ashanti Regional ECG boss, from the urban roads, from everybody in leadership position, and not just the president, and not just the vice president or the finance minister or Cecilia Dapa. Once we get to appreciate those issues that way, I think that we will not wait till an election year or election day to change government.
Okay, so Austin, hold on for me, because my last question to you will be this. I mean, again, back to the Kenya scenario, they're talking about unfulfilled promises from